Good morning, pregame crew. It is Friday, July 14th, 2023, 6:21 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:21 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button if you get anything out of this show. I'm glad you're here. Bears are having a rough week. And I hope pre-gamers are saying to themselves over and over, there ain't nothing wrong with this chart. Hey, Robin Wave, thank you so much. Good morning. Hey, Shake and Bake, Renaissance Man, Greg, Hector, Dylan, Topher. Hey, Casey, Mal, Alex, Mike, Homebody, Basque, Geo Guitar, Mary. Thank you all for being here. Mary, I know you've had to have a wonderful week. You have been positioned long for a while. Hey, Rob. How did net do yesterday? If you have any chart requests, you can just throw them in chat. I'll officially get started in 9 minutes. We have some minor data coming out. Export and import price index will be happening in 7 minutes. Well, hi, S-Ken. Good morning to you. Yo, yo, yo. That is pretty hot. Hey, Johan. Man, net can't get out of its own way, can it? We had this beautiful 3-day inside bar when you asked me about it with this wonderful equilibrium. Then it broke bear just to be a fake bear break. Is it a potential monthly bull flag? Let's see. No. Still stuck under EMAs. Daily inside bar. If any name you have had a daily inside bar yesterday, that means it's somewhat weak. Even though net was up 5%, it was unable to get over the prior day's high. Yesterday was such a big bullish day. If your name was red or flat, that means it was relatively weak. Outstanding. Awesome, Mary. Awesome. When y'all say F, I just in my head say the curse word. That's terrible. Potential weekly bull flag. This thing is beautiful. 1542 is your recent high. You barely got over 1534. I would not say that's a bull break. Man, this was a beautiful chart. When they're this clean, there's just something about the beauty. That was pretty clean. It held the 50 RSI. There's always clues, y'all. Always clues. Doesn't mean that it'll work out every time, but this one was all pointing in the right direction. It had a red day yesterday. It is red here in pre-market. I think it could be a dip buy against 1508. Potential dip buy. Market is super strong. In Norway, hi, Control Alt Delete. Hey, Renaissance Man, I hope you are well. Hood is beautiful. Hood can vary. It can have a correlation with Bitcoin and a correlation with QQQ. We have to be cognizant of both. We're overbought on the daily, not the weekly. 1276 is your key resistance, and bears will be waiting right there. It's just such an obvious area. You can see it from Mars. Because we have a lot of similar setups on lots of charts, I have a little bit of education, I hope, for you today that will help. I don't want to be so repetitive with the charts. Man, that's a beautiful squeeze. You see that? Wow. Even over here. How long has that been squeezing? Since May. Hey, Nick. Hey, Hugo. Is drug a mushroom stock? Oh, it had a split. It must be splitting. Yep, it's having a 1 to 5 split, probably splitting so it can save itself from getting delisted. Weekly inside bars broke bear. It's just going to be hard to analyze this with the split. It's going to have to adjust once the market opens, so I can't give you a lot of analysis on that. Just know that it's up on artificial reasons. Because it did a split, it multiplied itself times 5. So 5 times 60 is $3. So it's up about only 10 cents today. So it's artificially inflated. Rebalance news. I think it comes after hours. I'm not sure, Rob. Good morning. Success is inevitable. He asked, does it bother you a little if you're long a stock, you exit when you're supposed to, but the stock runs up another 10 points? No, that's called JOMO, joy of missing out. If I got a piece of the action, I'm happy. Literally, you can't give it more than 5 seconds of your thought process because it's going to take away from your mental gains and your actual gains. Like, don't let it take up any thought. Okay, oops, VZ. I was looking at telecommunication names this morning thinking, man, they are laggards. So it's hard to find a laggard in this market. And I would say the telecommunication names are laggards. And these have rich dividends. Let's see, what's the yield on this? Dividend yield 7.5% on Verizon. So daily downtrend, it is weak. And you look at AT&T, weak, and these dividends are rich. 7.34% on AT&T. What Verizon and AT&T bulls would love to see is for this to possibly be a megaphone. Same thing here. Higher high without follow through and hoping for a lower low without follow through. So I noticed that this morning on these stocks. I'm telling you, I go over hundreds of stocks every morning. And this isn't telecommunication, but it's still an XLC. And I was noticing that this is such a laggard, but it doesn't have a dividend. Such a laggard. Yeah, I'll cover NVDA later. Hey, Luciano, haven't seen you in a while. Let me go back up. I missed one. I did Verizon. We will get started in 2 minutes officially. Robert, I use RSI for overbought or oversold. And remember, if it's news oriented and news driven, then RSI means a lot less. Like right now, JPM, they beat on earnings. They're up 3%. RSI is 79 on the 4-hour chart. Does that matter to us? No, because it's earnings related. So the word extended, you can put in quotation marks because extended is very relative and subjective. Okay. Yes, Mog 1979. Great question. Mog asked, he's new to the channel and I feel like I'm the guy over the toilet after a night. How praying to God that I will never do this again. Is it normal to always be wrong in the beginning? Yes, it's normal to be wrong in the middle and at the end, Mog. Absolutely. It is normal. And what I bet you're doing is you're playing contrarian and counter trend. Stop it. Go with the trend. Just go with the trend. Size down. Trade with 1 or 2 shares. Because if you're trading with big size at the beginning and you're losing, you're paying more tuition than is necessary to learn the lessons. And for stops in this environment, in any environment, if you're long JPM right now and the hourly EMAs are below you, and you're in a swing, you stay in long as those EMAs are below you, period. End of discussion. You just keep it simple. Keep it simple. And you could say, as long as we're in a 4-hour uptrend, I will stay long. And you could always scale out a part, just a small portion of your size if the gains are good. You're welcome, Hugo. Okay, Carlos, you asked so nicely. Matic. PayPal looks good. Strong. I think it's $72 now. Matic. We will get started in about 30 seconds, y'all. Hourly inside bars, holding the EMAs. Potential probably 6-hour bull flag. Yep. It's breaking the low of the prior candle right now. But if this bear break doesn't get a lot of follow through, it could be a fake break. And you could look for that bull flag continuation. Look at this low bear volume on this consolidation right there, which this candle just started, so you can't count that volume candle. Ah, Luciano, you're a Forex dude. All right, y'all, let's get started. Good morning. Welcome to the pregame show. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. What I do here every morning is I have this handy dandy table, the market environment dossier, and this is a way for me to objectively share with you what I'm seeing. And what I'm seeing is Apple is slightly weak relative to other names. And I don't know if people are front running the possibility that Apple will be one of the names that is rebalanced and people shave off their holdings. DAX, last time I looked at it, it was slightly red. Let's look at it right now and see if the Germany market is still red. Yep, just slightly red. And I also have notes that are off screen. I copy and paste these notes for TCG members only. Our economic calendar, we just had data and it was a big nothing burger. These are 2-star events. 2-star means moderate volatility expected. We have some data at 10 a.m. as well. Just remember, we have data coming out at 10 a.m. It should be a non-event. It's not always a non-event. Just be aware of it. All right, now let's get started with the indices. And I will tell you that we have a lot of, I have a message. Oh, Jules. You know, some of my best friends in life I've met through trading over the internet, and it's really just a weird phenomenon, especially if you're not 20, 30 years old, which that's very common for you to meet friends over the internet. When you're in your 40s, not so much, but some of the better friends that I have. Okay, so ES. Is there anything wrong with this chart? Let me give you the answer. Nothing wrong with this chart. Your next resistance, 4,600, then 46.3825. These bulls are on fire. And we had earnings beat this morning. Earnings beats. So we have BlackRock was the only one with a small miss. So BlackRock, they missed by 0.01 billion. Oh, well, everything else looked good. JPM beat. United Healthcare beat. Wells Fargo beat. Citigroup beat. Y'all get it? So what we were waiting on the last couple of weeks, I said it could be slow because we were waiting on CPI and then bank earnings. We have tech earnings next week. And then the following week, we have the FOMC decision. And everything has been lining up for the bulls. So listen to me carefully. There will be consolidation. It's coming. There will be consolidation. But unless you have a stellar track record of nailing tops, I would say just buy pullbacks until the environment changes. Don't make life harder than it already is. So, and I'm going to talk to you about risk to reward. As some of you know, I started mentoring the last week and a half, and it's been weird trying to fit it into my schedule with personal stuff, but I've loved every second of it. And there's just been things that have come front of mind awareness, I guess, because I haven't taught in a while. And it's things that I do that I've learned to do over the years, but I don't articulate it. So maybe I can help someone today with risk to reward and how you calculate it. So we'll go over that in a bit. So ES, your support, 453875, and then 453625. EMAs are below us, bullish. Pullbacks are for buying. It is a back burner day. I didn't put this on here today like I did yesterday. Back burner day. If you approached yesterday with a back burner mindset, you had the day of all days. All right, NASDAQ. Greg, if you don't want to lose all the gains, just lock in half and then use a trailing stop. Trailing stops are so undervalued and underutilized in trading. Put a trailing stop on that sucker, and then you've locked in gains, and as it goes up, your stop is moving up with it. We have a potential 4-hour bull flag on NASDAQ. There's nothing wrong with this chart. We're not even breaking support. A lot of times on a bull flag formation, you have this little pattern and you break bear ever so slightly just to resolve to the upside. We're not even breaking bear. We've got upgrades. In addition to earnings beats, we have upgrades this morning. Microsoft got a $400 price target upgrade, whatever. RTY. RTY is a little bit weaker than NASDAQ. You see, we did break the hourly uptrend, but we're not getting follow through. So again, 4-hour bull flag. Do y'all see the repetitiveness? YM is a little bit stronger this morning than most because of bank earnings, United Healthcare earnings. They are inside the Dow. There's only, I think, 30 names in the Dow, right? I should know this. 100 names in NASDAQ, 500 names in SPY, 2,000 names in Russell. And that's why your market internals have been off as well. If you've been following Tick, with IWM running so hard, it has more names than the other 3 major indices combined, and it can make Tick real noisy. So market internals have not been as reliable as normal. Hang Seng was up 0.3% overnight. China has been on fire. Think about it. Why would the international markets be booming right now? Because of this chart, the dollar. The dollar weakness helps international markets. And that's why Dan, Mr. F, and various members of TCG have been saying, hey, I'm looking long BABA. I'm looking long yen, because the dollar weakness has been, it benefits these international markets. This is a terrible chart. 4-hour bear flag. It's pretty beat up. I'm expecting a bounce on the dollar, but I'm not expecting any fireworks. Metals are longs on pullbacks. Backburner on metals. Bitcoin had positive news not overnight, yesterday with XRP, some type of legal ruling, and it benefited crypto. We have 4-hour inside bars right now. Resistance 3129781, support 31088. And it's all about this number for me, 31040. And just for simplicity's sake, 31,000. Bulls are going to want to see that hold. How big of a retrace did we get here? Not terrible. Oh, wait, come on. Almost 50%. So a lower high is possible on this bounce. On the 4-hour with Bitcoin, not guaranteed, but it's possible. Sorry, I had to stop and drink water. Of course, Ethereum benefited as well, and Ethereum is holding up much better than Bitcoin right there on the 4-hour. You see, we're not even close to the 0.382 retrace. So Bitcoin right there, almost 45%. Ethereum, maybe 30%. And a lot of you newer traders will say to me, hey, I want to start learning Fibonacci, and I want to learn, and you think it's going to be something, this extra layer to your trading that's going to add this level of holy grailness. And 9 times out of 10, I'm using Fibonacci retrace and Fibonacci's just to figure out how healthy the consolidation is. And I did want to show you another way that I use Fibonacci's. If you look at the swing high from November 21 to October of 22, and you pull your fib from that high to that low, your fib extension target, 46498, we're above that now. Your next target, logical target and magnet on NVDA, I don't know if you can see that, 49305. Do you see it? 49305. That is your next fib extension target for NVIDIA. Is it possible? Absolutely. These bulls are on fire. Absolutely on fire. All right, so I did the indices. Let me do commodities, and then we'll do a little education. Okay, so gold's pulling back a little bit while the dollar gets its oversold bounce on. 15-minute oversold. Made for a beautiful oversold bounce because it's a back burner. Now we go to hourly oversold. So your first hourly oversold on gold or silver could be a great long buy. So that is a setup for today. Oil has been strong. We're consolidating sideways. We have the Baker Hughes rig count today. Potential 4-hour bull flag. Y'all, these bulls are on fire. Daily 200 MA overhead. And I've been circling this squeeze, y'all. Oil bulls mean business. Pullbacks are for buying. Back burner, back burner. Nat gas, it's up 1.7%, but overall it's weak, relatively speaking. Bounces are for shorting, and nat gas will be the only name that I can think of that I will say that today. Bounces are for shorting. Everything else, pullbacks are for buying. Oh, I like these hearts that I get. They're floating up. I guess when y'all hit the heart button, I like that. Yep, Dan's watching the AI high or low. He sure is. Okay, that's it for commodities. I'm going to get to our regulars and movers and shakers of the day, but I'm going to stop here and do a little education. So I want to go over coin. This is a question I get asked about the most, and I spend the least amount of time educating about it. So let's go over it. We are in an environment where I'm telling you back burner, back burner, back burner, back burner, and you're like, well, what if there's the hearts are going again. I love that. That's cute. So on coin, did we get a back burner opportunity on the 5-minute? No. We did not get a back burner opportunity. And then the news came out, and look at this volume. The volume tells you it has staying power. How do you know if a pop-up has staying power? Volume, volume, volume. All right. Well, dang it. You're sitting here. Let me move this screen over. And this is all you see. This is where you are. You are sitting at 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time yesterday. You're like, gosh, dang it. I missed that move. How do I get in? You wait for a touch of the EMAs, a pullback for the EMAs. So you could do it right in here. And you say, okay, I'm getting in on this minor pullback. And I will get out if price has a candle close below the 21, 8 and 21, or 12 and 26 EMA. Did it have a candle close the rest of the day below the 21 EMA? No, not even a body close below the 8 EMA. Do y'all see that? The body is right on the 8 EMA. That is not a candle close below. That is not a candle close below. That is not a candle close below. So pullbacks to the 8 and 21 EMA in a short squeeze situation are great buying opportunities because you know exactly where you're going to stop out. The candle body closes below the 8 and 21 on the 5-minute, you're out of there. NVIDIA. I posted about this tightening range about 1 million times. Joking, kind of not joking. I said NVDA is getting tight. I kept commenting on the pressure is building. Pressure is building. And then boom shakalaka. You missed it. All right. You're sitting here and you're like, oh, dang, it got over 44993. It broke 450 right here on this candle. So you're like, okay, I'm getting in. It broke resistance, I'm getting in. Then you tell yourself, I'm going to stay in long as there's candle closes above the 5-minute 8 EMA. Do y'all see that was not threatened at all the rest of the day? Not at all. So if you'd have gotten in on that break, $12 to the upside. So this is a Daltonism. Dalton, he's 83 years old and just an amazing market profile guru. And here is a Daltonism. We lack imagination. Why do we cut winners short? We lack imagination. We think, oh my God, I got $1 on NVIDIA. Well, you could have gotten $12.26. We lack imagination. So allow a technical indicator to help offset your lack of imagination. So you say, I'm not exiting until we lose the 5-minute EMA, period. And let's say you enter here on the 450 break. Your stop would then, your logical stop would be below 448.40. That's $1.60 away. Y'all stay with me here. It's $1.60 away. So let's say that you entered I'm trying to put the magnets on so it makes it hard. Let's say you entered right here at 450. 450. Okay, so 450 minus a dollar, 448.40, where your stop would be right below there is $1.60. Now, what do you have to get your risk to reward lined up? $4.80. You're going to multiply this times 3. So you want your risk to reward 1 times 3. Does this make sense to anybody? Yes, Anonymous, I said that. Banks are pumping because of earnings. Yes, I can repeat it for NVIDIA. Did I already delete it? It's 490 something. Now I'm going to miss my place. I need to go back to where I was. Okay, so if you're not doing this on the regular, limiting your risk, and then making sure your reward is there. And if you're wrong, you've risked $1.60 and you stop out. And if you're right, you're 480, you get it, and then you let a runner run and put a trail stop on it. I can't express to you enough how important this is for trading, risk to reward, because you have to have a winning rate of over 70, 80% if you're always getting 1-to-1. And let your winners run. So I get questions all the time. How do I set my risk? Is it a percentage of my position size? No. So if $1.60 is a lot for you and you normally get 200 shares of NVIDIA with $1 stop, then you're going to get 100 shares, cut back the size because the risk is greater because it's $1.60 and not $1. And I hope some of you rewind. I hope this makes sense. I may not be explaining it well. You know, I do my best here. So your risk to reward. And then also, so I wanted to go over the 3 things. Why do we cut our winners short? Because we lack imagination. I wanted to go over risk reward discussion and how to insert yourself into a bull run, short squeeze type situation. Coin and NVIDIA. So hopefully that helps somebody. And now I'll answer the question. What was the retrace, the number on NVIDIA, the fib extension? I hate it when it does that. Your fib extension target, 493.05. That is 1.618 extension. And I don't know if some of y'all remember me doing a measured move on NVIDIA, and I wrote this on the chart. And I said, I know I sound crazy, but the measured move at the time, I forget what pattern I was looking at, was 480. So 480. 493.05, tomato. Oh, good, Bijan. I'm glad that made sense. Christian, because it's a fib extension. So a fib extension is 1.618. Those are natural magnets for your names. It's where in nature you see Fibonacci's everywhere. Fibonacci is a math series, and we see it all the time in nature, and things naturally pause at 0.618 or the golden pocket, and then things get extended to the 1.618 extension. So those are it's just part of a math series, and it's just a good rule of thumb. It's not the gospel. Yeah, you could play Goldman Sachs or Bank of America as a laggard play. Looks like Bank of America is probably the better one because it's only up 1.65%. But yeah, you could do that. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, now let's go back to our regulars and let me continue with our regularly scheduled programming. Apple. Y'all, Apple is weak. We have an inside bar yesterday. Do y'all see how tight that is? 191.19 and 189.78. What's the average true range for Apple on a day? $2.73, and we moved $1.41 yesterday, and our average true range is 273, and we only moved $1.41 yesterday. That's how tight Apple is. Okay, so y'all think about that. Think about it. So why would I harp on Apple today? Because it has pressure building. Bulls and bears duked it out, and they held it into $1.41 range yesterday, and the average range is 273. So that means we have pressure building. Apple, however it breaks out of this range, should have good follow through. Apple is up for one of the Magnificent Seven that could get trimmed today as part of the rebalancing news that will go into effect on July 24th. If you don't know what I mean, Google Investor Business Daily, NASDAQ rebalancing, and you'll see the article. All right. Apple is positioned very poorly compared to other tech names. So Apple, let's go back over here. It's red. I got it marked red, y'all. Back here. So Apple is weak. And your support is 189.78. If that breaks, I would enter short and then put my stop above the high of day. So let's look at this. So if we open up and we start pulling back and we break 189.78, I'd enter short and put my stop over high of day. All right. So Apple is my queen of the mountain short. I'm looking short. I'm not in short. Okay. There's a difference. And if bulls negate this setup and they break it to the upside, then my short is busted and I don't take the trade or I take the long. Amazon is beautiful. There's nothing wrong with this chart. Yes. You're looking at my sheet. Kidding. You can't see my notes. TCG members, I'll give you my notes when I'm done. But for those of you who have somewhere to be, possibly, I'll just go ahead and give you the Queen of the Mountain trades right now. So Apple, I'm looking short, and backburners, Coin, Mara, Riot, and Shop. All four of those names, put them on your 5-minute backburner watch. And if it gets 5-minute oversold in pre-market, then you switch to 5-minute oversold regular trading hours. Coin, Mara, Riot, and Shop. Those are my Queen of the Mountain trades. Long, backburner, except for Apple. And Apple, I'm looking short. I want y'all to look at Shop. Do y'all know the monkey leash that I talk about? And if you're new to the pregame, you're like, this lady has lost her marbles. So my analogy is I can't stand roller coasters, and I was one of 4 children, and my mom didn't want to lose us, and she'd say, like, I don't care, you don't want to get on a roller coaster with your brother and your sisters, you're getting on. And it's like everybody at the Disney park has that monkey backpack leash where the parents are just pulling them, and it's like, no, you're getting on the roller coaster. Well, Shop was sideways most of the day. It was beautiful. Look at this pressure building. And let me show you why you should be a member of TCG. Shop from Chart Gallery. 2-hour inside bars continue. Building pressure. NVIDIA's the same way. Testing. 15-minute EQ. Look, Shop, I posted about it many, many times yesterday. It was such a beautiful setup. And look at the follow through that you get when you break. So the market had already broken bull, but Shop hadn't. Now, I'm not going to say this is the most beautiful gains I've ever gotten because it didn't have a lot of follow through, but I'm watching it today for a potential. I had gains on it yesterday, and I'm looking to trade it again today for a possible backburner trade. Bitcoin is down almost 1%, so coin is pulling back. Yeah. So this is the broker platform open, this big wick. You really can't pay a lot of attention to that. 5-minute got oversold in pre-market, so we ignore. So now we wait for 15-minute oversold. And what you could do is if we start moving to the upside, as soon as we open, get in long and put your stop below the low of day. I cannot overemphasize how important it is. If you're going to do an opening range breakout or breakdown trade, put your stop over the high or low of day, whichever long or short you're doing, and then let it ride. You will get more gains that way, and you will miss fewer trades because you're getting in and you're saying, I'm going to go with it. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to be wrong fast. It's 6:55 already. Okay. Amazon. It's one of the Magnificent Seven. Could it be one of the ones that gets trimmed? We'll see. NVIDIA is freaking gorgeous. Don't be a freaking bull-headed bear. That doesn't make any sense, does it? A bare-headed bear trying to short this crap on every turn. If you are a hedge fund and you don't have NVIDIA in your portfolio these last 2 quarters, what do you think your performance rating is going to be this week when you have to sit down with your boss and look at your performance for first and second quarter? You're at the semi-annual review. If you don't have NVIDIA in your portfolio, you're getting smacked. That's why these runs have more staying power. FOMO. Tesla's weaker than others. It's red. However, if you say, Lori, pick a pattern. What's your favorite kind of pattern? I love these trampoline pattern. The only thing I don't like is the absence of a steady squeeze. We don't have steady pressure building. On the 4-hour, we have a little bit of pressure building. But Tesla is a little weak in pre-market, but I wouldn't say anything's wrong with this chart. Davey, that's funny. All right. What's the stop loss for a back burner? You have to have either the low of day once you enter, or you have to have a stop nearby. So you look at the prior intraday levels. Let's say that Tesla was a back burner trade, which it isn't, and it was oversold down here. Then your stop, you would have to pick an intraday level from yesterday, and I usually do it from the 15-minute chart, and that's how you put your stop. All right, y'all. I appreciate you being here. I promise I try to bring my best every morning, and I hope I kept you on the right side of the trade this week. I don't like being repetitive, but I also do like it because it just, it reinforces what we need to know. If you are losing money trading, you're counter trend trading too often. Go back to trend trading and start making money again. And then make sure you have the imagination to let your trade run further than you think it can by using technical indicators as a reason to get in and out versus greed, emotion, and fear. All right. All my best to everyone. Use stop losses.